Larry Miller, a conservative backbench MP, made comments yesterday in connection with the ongoing debate about the niqab that have the opposition and media screaming bloody murder. He's been called an Islamophobe, a racist bigot, told his comments were grotesque, divisive, disgraceful. Okay, we get it. So what were his seemingly un-Canadian comments? Have a listen.
I'm so sick and tired of people wanting to come here because they know it's a good country, and then they want to change things before they even really officially become a Canadian. So I have no sympathy for her.
Well, hold on. Who could possibly be for importing a foreign culture that's at odds with Canada's? That is what this whole debate about the niqab is centered on, isn't it? Should Muslim women be allowed to wear the niqab, which represents a strict adherence to puritanical Islam, at precisely the moment when they're supposed to be embracing and affirming the Canadian rule of law? You can't serve two masters. Miller went on to say this, however.
If you're not willing to show your face in the ceremony that you're joining the best country in the world, then frankly,
then you're back.
Yeah, frankly, if you don't like that or don't want to do that, stay the hell where you came from.
See, if you listen to his comments in the context of the niqab issue, they're harsh and they're direct. In fact, they were a little too harsh and too direct, such that he ultimately released a statement apologizing. Some, however, have interpreted his comments as being anti-immigration writ large. But nowhere did Miller say, if you're Muslim, get out. We're talking about discrimination on the basis of ideologies, not ethnicities or religion. There are two different cultures here. One is an equality of men and women, pluralistic, separation of church and state culture, and the other is a fundamentalist, Muslim supremacist, misogynist culture. And which one is going to change? Should we change? This isn't about some bigoted conservative MP who hates Muslims. After all, Stephen Harper has brought in more Muslim immigrants to Canada than any other prime minister in Canada's history. That is a fact. And since 2006, more than 300,000 Muslim immigrants have been welcomed here. So yeah, a few of Miller's words were rough. But are we at a point now where we can't say, yeah, I don't think a woman should be allowed to wear a mask while swearing the oath of citizenship? It's not insignificant that in Saudi Arabia, the niqab is a repressive tool, but in Canada, it's seen as liberating by some. And feminist author Margaret Atwood of The Handmaid's Tale should be the first one to stand up against this. Instead, she's campaigning for a change to gender-inclusive language in the O Canada. It's a lot easier and politically correct to champion gender-inclusive song lyrics than it is to advocate for inclusivity and equality against the much greater pressures of modern puritanical Islam. Now, numerous Muslim scholars attest that the niqab is not a religious requirement in Islam. We're talking now about a political and cultural symbol, not a religious one. But people are afraid of standing up against the Salafi Wahhabi ideology that underlies the niqab. Either we believe in gender equality or we don't. So yes, Miller's language was harsh, but I don't disagree.